Bankroll SWAP tutorial, play to win.
Crypto Slow with more crypto gains. What's going on, guys? Welcome to the swap tutorial on the Bankroll Network. Swap is a decentralized exchange which is very similar to Uniswap, but it is on the Tron network. So what is Swap? What does it do? Why do we need it? Swap basically makes it very easy to buy and sell Banker. That's the number one standpoint. You don't have to play the games on the exchanges of people buying and pulling orders, moving it up by 0.001, etc. Just all the silly games that people play. You either can get it or you can get out, and there's no BS to deal with. So how does it work? Well, first and foremost, it's just on the new menu over here on the right under swap. You simply click on the three lines to pull your menu up, similar to mobile. This does work on mobile as well. How can I buy and sell? Well, the very first thing you need to do is enable swap on the interface. So you're going to hit swap enabled, hit accept, okay, and now you can buy and sell. So let's go over some things real quick, and then we'll get to buying and selling. First and foremost, you have your basic stats. It shows your current Banker in your wallet, your TRX, the current buy and sell price. If I have any liquidity in the pool, more on that. Percent of the pool that I own, number of transactions. Staked value, okay, this is your Banker and TRX. The ability to add liquidity, meaning you're actually a provider of Banker and TRX for the pool. Remove. The basic stats, supply of swap tokens. It's really not a token, it's a placeholder. Transactions, amount of liquidity in the pool, so it's saying there's almost 4 million in the pool right now. Current price, liquidity providers, and the contract balance. Then we have our standard buys, sells leaderboard, who has the most liquidity in the pool balance, which has been going up very nicely. So, as we said, you're going to make sure the swap is enabled here. That's step one, and then you can buy and sell Banker as you want. So let's say that I went over to save, right, and I claim some divs. Okay, boom, and then I wanted to sell that Banker. I go back to swap, go to here, I hit I'm going to sell 8. It tells me the estimated TRX. There's a small fee of 0.3% on buys and sells, and I hit sell, accept the smart contract, and that's it. Okay, and let's say I wanted to buy. Okay, so let's say I want to buy 100 TRX worth. I hit buy, and boom, voila, that's it. Super easy. So what does this have, the implications of this have for the Bankroll network? Well, number one, it creates a much more stable environment for Bankroll on the Banker token, which is the store of value on Bankroll. And then number two, like I said, you don't have to play all these silly games. Now you're saying, well, what about Tron Trade and Polydex? Well, looking at Tron Trade, looking at Polydex right off the bat, the order book is pretty thin. What's going to happen is as the Banker, as more and more volume goes to the Bankroll swap contract, a lot of these exchanges, Tron Trade and Polydex, are just going to dry up. Now, are there some arbitrage possibilities in the meantime? Yes, absolutely. I got a little arbitrage the other day. It seems that people were watching it more closely. If you notice, the buy is 305, the sell is 328, and we look and the swap is kind of in the middle. But here's what's going to happen. People that are trying to sell Banker on the cheap, okay, this is going to get dried up. And then, as we know, the next minor level for save is coming very soon, so the token supply is going to dry up very quickly. So like I said, it's not going to take much to wipe this order book, and then pretty much the buyers and sellers are forced over to swap, which, like I said, it's just much easier, provides a more steady price. Now, what does this mean for the network? This is good for the network because the liquidity pool captures the volume and adds net worth to a Bankroll. So as a Bankroll member in the community, if you want to add value to Bankroll, buy all your banker on swap, sell all your banker on swap, period. That's it. Don't mess with Tron Trade and Polydex. Now, and like I said, that volume gets captured as net worth on the Bankroll network and makes the community and the platform stronger, because as liquidity builds, the price is going to be more stable and resistant to falling. Now, add liquidity. What is liquidity? This is a little more complex. Anybody can add liquidity to the pool, and you basically share part of that 0.3% of trading fees as people trade. Now, here's the rub. It's not technically, the fees go into a reserve fund and are assigned to your value of your swap tokens. So basically, let's say, hey, I want to help make banker price more stable. I add liquidity to the pool. So you're going to need equal parts TRX to equal parts banker based on the banker price. So if I wanted to provide 100, let's see, yeah, let's say 400. I was trying to get it. Okay, that's 500. 157. So you can see this number changes down here and tells me how many banker I need in my wallet to provide that amount of liquidity. Okay, I know it seems confusing, but the reality is you have to place both sides of collateral into the contract in order to provide the liquidity. And like I said, this basically creates a fluid market where all the liquidity is constantly being used. So 142, so about 440. So if I type in that I want to deposit 440 TRX, it's telling me that I have to have 138 banker. Well, I have 140, so I'm good to go. So I'm just going to simply hit add, and I'm going to add that liquidity to the pool. Now, when I add liquidity to the pool, that's going to increase the pool balance. And now, basically, you're like, where's my divs? Well, your divs don't get realized until you pull your liquidity, okay? And it's kind of like a scale, okay? As the price of banker moves, the number of Tron's going to move, and it's going to basically, it balances out. So your numbers are going to vary. Now, what you could do is you could drop a big chunk of liquidity in there, let it ride for a little bit, and then pull it out and collect your fees if that's what you wanted to do. The liquidity side is a little more advanced, and depending on the size of your portfolio, you know, you may have better gains and save for the moment, while the mining level is still reasonable. So basically, it says I have 389 swap. Okay, so if I type in 389, it's going to automatically calculate the amount of banker and the amount of TRX that I'm going to get. Now, obviously, nothing has happened, so there's not going to be any reserve. Now, the price can go up, the price can go down. So DYOR, and only do it if you feel comfortable and you know what you're doing, you know what you're getting into. Otherwise, I wouldn't do it. If now what's my strategy? Well, looking at the banker page and looking at the, let's see, the current mined, okay, 5.647 million mined. So we are going to be hitting that next stage soon, and your saved divs are going to drop, and this is going to take a lot of price pressure off of Banker. So probably what my strategy is I'm going to probably stay and save until this hits 6 million, which is going to be it's going to be pretty soon. I would say in the next week, 10 days, etc. And then I would probably move in and go large and become a liquidity provider on swap. Is kind of what my master plan is. But everyone, realize on Bankroll, it's not stagnant. Play to win. So, I was in Boost, I made profit on Boost, BTT ran. On that note, BTT is getting to run again. And then I moved over to the daily, and then, I was in Save, and now I'm on Swap. So basically, just always keep in mind that you can bounce around and you move your portfolio to where it makes sense at the time to get the most gains on Bankroll. So that's it. It's pretty simple. Again, just make sure you turn this button on before you do anything. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to buy or sell. But other than that, buy all your Banker at Swap, help the network become stronger. And as always, if you have any questions, post them down below, and I'd be glad to answer them for you. This is Crypto, so if you're not talking gains, then we're not talking.